What's up, YouTube fam? Hopefully you're doing great today. Today we're going to be installing this Kenwood DMX8709S into my 2020 Camry. This is a digital multimedia unit, meaning there's no CD player or anything like that. It's simply for digital media and satellite radio. This particular receiver is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible, wired or wireless. So you do have the options for wireless Android Auto, which is huge for me because I drive all the time, and wireless is just more convenient for me. A little bit about this. It's Data Link Mastro compatible, Sirius XM ready. It's got HDMI on the back. It's a capacitive touchscreen. It's a short body, meaning it's not as long like with the CD players, having to have that space, so you got enough space for your wiring in the back. And you can, on Android, mirror your Android screen to this screen, meaning that if you've got YouTube playing on your phone, you can watch YouTube on your car radio and have it a little more convenient if you're sitting there in a parking lot or whatever. Flip the box around for y'all, and it does have a rear view camera in, parking grid lines, like I said, screen mirroring, Bluetooth mic is included. It's 50 watts times 4 is your max. Adjustable viewing angle via a digital display. The display doesn't move, it's actually just electronic adjustment of the display. So that's what we're going to put in. I did pull up the computer screen to guide you if you so wish, and I'll zoom in just a little bit here. You can see the price on it. My unit, which is to the right, is the 8709S. It's $499, about 540 bucks, shipped to your door. You also do have the ability to get the Kenwood Acceleron DMX809S for $549. However, I opted to save $50 essentially, because the only difference between the $549 and the $499 is one, mine has a 1-year warranty, that one has a 2-year warranty. In my opinion, I have never had any issues with Kenwood products, so that's here nor there for me. The only other difference is going to be on your preamp. The one for $549 has a 5 amp output, and mine has a 4 amp output. Doesn't matter to me because I'm not hooking up anything up to it essentially, so it's just basic going into the car speakers. And even if I upgraded the speakers, I mean, it wouldn't have any kind of sub or anything like that. So this is more than enough. And the only other difference is this is HD radio. This is not. I only listen to YouTube music or Sirius XM. So, I mean, this is all I needed. It's very rare that I actually listen to the FM. And if I do, regular FM radio is fine. I don't need HD radio. I think that's, to be honest, to me, that's just kind of a scam. If you want HD radio, just listen to, your XM. And there's a picture of the front and the back of each unit. They are both a 6.8 inch touchscreen. So yeah, that's a little bit about the unit. And we'll go ahead and pause the video momentarily and get it unboxed, and we'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so we've got it unboxed for you. It's just easier to do it off the camera with space and everything. As you can see, this is what you're looking at. It's still got the plastic on it until I get ready to install it in the car. But it does come with your cage to install it. Like I said, 6.8 inch touchscreen. It is a very, very narrow body instead of your traditional, which comes out to like here, holding your CD. So you got plenty of space for your wiring. This is what your back looks like. This is your Sirius XM cable. It's for your iData link, which I'll go over that momentarily. Essentially, this port here is what all your steering wheel controls and all your factory features that work in your factory infotainment center. That's what this is going to do, and I'll go over that momentarily. Let's see what else we got on the back here. We got AV in, video out, and your rear cam. This is HDMI. You can unscrew that, plug your cable in, and lock it in. This is also a proprietary Kenwood GPS radio or Sirius XM. They do provide you an antenna to go with it if you want to use that. However, I already have that antenna in my car for the XM, so I'll be utilizing that. You've got your outputs if you want to use it, your wiring harness. You've got a couple things here. You've got a front view camera cable if you want to utilize a front type of camera as well. You've got your microphone cable to plug in your mic. Then you've got your reverse signal. This is so when you put it in reverse, it knows to put the unit into to pop up the backup camera. And then you got this parking switch cable here. This is essentially so that your parking brake has to be on whenever you want to watch video on the screen. This is easily bypassed. All you're going to do is put this to ground, which we will be doing in this case. On the wiring harness, it's very simple to do. On a Kenwood, it's just literally grounding it out, and it bypasses that switch altogether. And then you can just watch video while you're going down the road, or your passenger can access features and functions that normally would be locked out, as they are and should be if you're the driver. However, you know, it's nice for the passenger to be able to access that while you're moving. So we'll be bypassing this. Essentially, we'll just kind of cut this little tip off here, and we're going to splice it with the ground, and that's going to be the end of that. So yeah, that's the actual unit itself. It does come with the beauty ring. I don't know whether my vehicle uses it. I have a dash kit that I got with it. It does come with your screws and your keys to pull the radio out of the cage. Again, I don't know exactly specifically yet if I actually need the cage in my unit. I won't know until I pull the dash off, but it does come with it. This is your microphone to plug in. It's your wiring harness. This is an extension for that parking brake cable. You would plug that in and essentially plug this into your parking brake unit, and when you turn on your parking brake, it would ground this out and then allow that. Like I said, we're going to bypass that, so extra wire. And you get your satellite radio thing with the proprietary end on it, which we will not be utilizing just because I already have an antenna on my car, and I think this kind of looks, on an older car that doesn't have it, it's fine. Use it. I've used it before when I had a Ford Explorer, but my car's already got that, so we'll just save that or whatever. And that's what comes in the box. So pretty cool stuff. Now, what you'll also need to install this into your vehicle, in this particular radio, you'll need the Kenwood 2 Mastro T harness to radio adapter. You'll need the Toyota USB adapter. This basically allows you to connect your radio to the factory USB, therefore utilizing wired connection if you want and such. Then you have the HRT03, HRN-HRR-T03 installation harness, and this is for Toyota 2018 Plus. radio antenna adapter. These little, I can't even remember what they're called, but they're little connectors, and they're really great to connect stereo cable if you don't want to solder, which I do not. Sorry about the lighting. It'll be better when we're outside. And then you'll need the iDataLink Mastero RR. This is a car interface replacement unit, and this has to be programmed to the car and to the radio and serial number and all that, and we'll be doing that on video to show you how to do. So I'll come back and we'll program this to the vehicle, and then we will program it to the radio, and then when we go to install it, everything will work. We'll be back. Alright guys, so I put everything back up in the box, and we're going to kind of focus on the radio module, and we're going to open this up so that we can show you what this is. The box is kind of beat up, but in the box you get your little quick start guide on how to utilize the tool and get everything set up. Familiarize yourself with that. You get the interface itself, which is this. It's black, it's dark in here. I realize that. You'll see it a little better out in the vehicle. So you get that. You get your cabling, which we'll go over all this during the actual install procedure. But you get your cables that you need right here, and all these cables are basically going from this unit back into your factory stuff and into the harnesses we have up there to basically keep your steering wheel controls and all that, camera and everything. This is kind of what this is controlling. And then you get a tiny little USB cable, and the purpose for this cable is to plug the unit up into here to program it. And you're going to want to download the WebLink desktop and create a free account to be able to utilize this this thing. I've already downloaded this because this is something that I knew I was going to need prior to the install, so I've downloaded the software, but we're going to go ahead and program it while we're here. So let me rearrange the camera so you can see the computer screen. This basically is just going to plug into a USB port on your computer, and the software, once downloaded, you will be able to find your component. Alright guys, so we have the iDataLink module hooked up to the USB, and then what we're going to do is click on the WebLink desktop, which you'll see pop up right here, and it's redirecting, and we're going to select the Mastro because that's what we're programming, and you can see it on screen. Let me try to zoom in just a little bit for y'all to give you the best picture possible. And as you can see, it automatically detects the device that I have plugged in, and I want to flash my vehicle. So I'll come over here and I'll click Flash My Vehicle. And you'll come over here and you're going to select your year, which mine is a 2020, and it's a Toyota. And we'll go down and we'll select the appropriate car. Mine is going to be the Camry without JBL. And then in some cases you'll have multiple steering wheel configurations. So this is basically showing you a picture, and when you zoom in, you know, I can tell that this is my steering wheel because it only has one in this. But if you have two, just pick which one your steering wheel is, and then, you know, go ahead and select it. And then we're going to select what brand of stereo that we're programming, which is a Kenwood. So go down here and click Kenwood. Keep your stereo handy. You're going to need the serial number for that. And in my case, it is the Kenwood DMX 87. So I'm just going to go DMX, and then we're going to do 8709S, which is right here. Okay. And then we're going to put the serial number in. It is needed to communicate with that, and you'll find the serial number on your box on a sticker or on the radio, but just so you know. And you'll type in your serial number. And then you go. And then it gives you the recommended firmware, and you can see all firmware. Obviously it's just going from the newest, so we're going to select the latest. And then it's going to go through which accessories you're going to be using, which, if you remember, we're using this right here. Pull it up again. I know it's hard to see right now because I'm looking at the thing and lighting, but this is the HRTO3, and it's HRN HRR-TO3. So this is what we're using. So we'll select that. It's already selected. And then we'll hit continue. Then we're going to select how you want to configure your system. Vehicle info, gauges, advanced camera features, rear seat video retention, steering wheel controls, OEM camera. We're just going to leave those all selected. If you don't want some of this, you could take it off, but I'm going to leave them all selected. And we're going to hit continue. And then you're going to go through your buttons here, and you're going to pick what they do, which this is the default right here, left side. So I can confirm, you know, when you hit the phone, you can answer a call, or you can pick what you want that button to do in here. You can program it to whatever you want. For me, it'll just answer the call. And if you press it once, it's to answer the call. You hold it to hang up and reject, which don't really... Yeah, we'll just leave that as standard. Yeah. Yep. And then we're going to continue, and then we're going to continue, and now it's going to program that. And it's about to flash it. It's going to do that one little 2 customizations with the GPS and that. So we've got our steering, we've got the product we're flashing, the vehicle we're using, the radio we're using, the steering wheel we're using, the accessory we're using, and how it's configured. And then it's going to give that, and then we're going to flash it. And now it's flashing that unit that's plugged in to my USB on my computer. And once this is done, it'll be programmed when I get it hooked in the car. All this will be beautiful, beautiful stuff. Everything will be working. This will be a little bit longer of a video, and I apologize for that, but I think that this is important stuff to know that you don't see a lot. So there we go. Now it said the flash was completed with success. Great. So now we can unplug our unit. So now we have programmed our Mastro with those settings. So it's ready to go into the car. Keep your USB cable, because you may get another car and want to use this, and this item is compatible with multiple vehicles. You might have to change your wiring harnesses or whatever, but this thing being like 160 bucks, you can use it with different radios. So now we'll put that back in the box, and then when we're out in the vehicle, we'll get it all installed. So we'll see when we get out to the vehicle. Alright, so we're recording. We're in the Camry, and we're going to take out this factory radio and install the Kenwood. It's really not too much to this. These plastic trim pieces right here just clip in, along with right here. Just clip in. So it's just a matter of kind of grabbing it and pulling it and getting it separated from the car. Just give it a couple little pulls. Be gentle with it so you don't break it. And it slides out like that with those plastic clips. And just set it on the floor gingerly. Not really much to scratch up, but just be gentle with it. Then you have this trim molds that you want to take off. So you just give it a little pull, like so, and pop that off. Comes off very easily. Nice plastic clips. They finally got rid of those metal things. And we're just going to set this down here. It's not going to be damaged. Then you got this plastic right here. This is a very thin piece. So just gingerly pull it along the sides here. Pull out your whole vent. And now you got your whole vent assembly out. And just lay that down there on the floor. Comes out fairly easy. Not a whole lot to it. Hopefully you guys see most of this. You know, it's in a car, so it's kind of limited. You're going to have 4 10mm bolts. You got 1, 2, 3. Let's pull this out too. This is our little electronic control panel, and pull that out too. Got 1, 2, 3, and gonna guess that 4th bolt's hidden behind this here. I did not disconnect the battery yet, but we will disconnect the negative of the battery before we actually do any plugging in. And we have this little push start panel right here, which we're just gonna gingerly pry up on. If you have and that 4th bolt is right there. You don't even have to take that off. You can just leave it sit. If you have a little pry tool, that will work great. But if not, you don't need to really worry about it. So now we have everything disconnected. And what we're gonna do is get our impact. We're gonna obviously turn this down to low, or 1 on the Milwaukee. It's 10mm. And we're going to take out these 4 bolts. We'll just set them in a cup holder. Again, that's 10mm. Come over here. And we are gonna
gingerly get that. Then we're going to pop out our factory unit. Like so. And got a little hung up there. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in I'm gonna put it down here. Start it. And I'm just gonna put mine into neutral and turn it off. And we'll set the parking brake. All right. So now we got the unit out. Let's turn it back off. All right. So now we're in accessory mode. And at this point, I'll go ahead and I'll take out the negative of the battery terminal just so that we have no shorting of anything. And at that point, we'll go back and actually hook all these cables up with the new unit that you saw me program in there and get that all squared away. If you have a key start, you could just take the key out and get out of accessory, but since I'm in neutral, it doesn't want to let me, do that. So I might be able to actually, yeah, there we go. Now the power is off. It does have a 12 volt, but everything else is going to be, pretty much plug and play. Now we can open our door back up without that annoying dinging. And you have a plug over here. I know it's hard to see, so I'll kind of flip it up like that. Got our 4-ways on. Just gonna unplug this here. And that's for your airbag light. And then I didn't realize that it was a Pioneer radio. You have all your connections at the back here. Let's just go ahead and get these disconnected. Lots of harnesses for infotainment. I keep hitting that 4-way. There we go. Now you have your factory Pioneer style radio out. It's funny that they use what seemingly looks identical to the Kenwood for the satellite. But anyways, that's your factory infotainment center out. So I'm going to fit this to the side, passing the parking brake with this parking switch. Quite literally, with this style here, all we're gonna do is take our cutters and I'm gonna cut that off. I don't need this parking label. Yeah, I might if I ever get rid of the radio. Someone else might need to know what it is. We'll just pull it down. Take this end here. and set it on the seat right now. Then we're gonna crimp this. Just get a little bit there. Take our little sleeving out. Down on my cup holder here, I brought out a couple of terminals. I wasn't sure what size I need. So we got our little connection on there. I'm actually just gonna fold the cables over themselves. Bring it down into here. And I've actually forgot to bring my crimpers. So yes, we'll have to do that. So basically what I'm going to do is crimp this on, take out this screw and screw it down into here, and then it'll be grounded, and that'll bypass the emergency brake. So that's what we're going to do. If you have this green cable in your wiring harness, it's built in. This is the factory wiring harness. Just show you, if you had the e-brake cable in here, then essentially all you would do was take this cable that would be here and you'd attach it to this ground wire. So you would just basically splice into here, connect this and this, and then connect that, and that'll bypass it on the Kenwoods. Let me go grab my crimpers. All right, still recording, I hope. Can't see the screen. Yes. All right, I cannot find for the life of me my dang crimpers, so I'm just gonna use these. I think my father-in-law had them, but these pliers will work for this. And that's a good crimp. Let's come over here. And we'll ground that bad boy. It's actually a little bigger than I would have liked. Hopefully that'll be tight on there. I might, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it again. My hoop. And we're gonna use this screw. And we're going to screw it right down into there and ground it out. Improvise, improvise. This was for the HDMI port, but it's fine. Get it as short as we can here. And now we got our cable hooked into there, into the ground. Essentially, we're good to go there. Don't have to worry about it. On this piece right here, I'm not utilizing anyway. So, does not make any never minds. And the backup camera worked, but it didn't actually trigger when I put it in reverse. So, found out the wiring diagram was wrong. Which was why I had to stop the video, because I couldn't find the actual wiring diagram, called Crutchfield Customer Service, and they were of course wonderful. And it ended up being that apparently Toyota has changed where the 12-volt trigger is. This was the actual cable on the harness right here, and it's supposed to go into this and then connect up in there, but I wasn't getting any 12 volts on that. I was able to determine that using the multimeter. Once I determined that, I knew that the cable wasn't hooked up right, but I didn't know where in the harness it was supposed to be. Crutchfield gentleman was very helpful. Got online, found the updated diagram for me. We found out that the had to go directly into the car's actual harness, which I didn't want to do, but it was fine. So the reverse actually goes up into the harness up in here, and that's just how I have it hooked, and it works and it's fine. The Toyota put these wire wraps so far up, they barely left you an inch of wire up in here. So I cut as much back as I could, but I don't know what they made this stuff of, but like the scissors even barely cut it. But I got it back enough to where I was able to, I spliced this cable and then just spliced it together using these little harness clips. These things are pretty great for doing this kind of install stuff. So anyway, that's where I am with that. So now everything's working. I'm going to put it all together and it's going to be done. But the only thing I did realize is that I'm missing my iData link for the factory satellite radio, which I didn't even realize it until I got all this done, and it's too late at this point. So I'm going to put it all back in. That part will be here next Friday. I'll just pull it back out, connect the factory satellite GPS location and the radio, and plug it into there, and we'll be good to go with that. And also ordered me a micro HDMI cable, so when that comes in, I'll go ahead and it'll be here about the same time. We'll pull it out, we'll connect it up, and we'll I'm going to connect that micro HDMI and put an HDMI out right there, and that way when I want to watch something on my phone or whatever, I can just plug my phone up into there and, you know, mirror it or whatever. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I've got everything wired up the way it should be now, excluding the satellite radio. Everything's working, Android Auto, yada yada, everything's good. The last thing that I'm going to do is I've got a couple of these wires right here that I'm just gonna cap off because they're cut. I don't want them to hit anything, and then we'll get back. We'll leave the camera running. There's a lot of freaking wires. That's all I know. Hey. So, literally, now you're gonna fish. Just keep fishing wire and fishing wire. And that's all gonna go back in the dash. I'm gonna tape it up. I also tape like the USB connection and that. Just put a little thing of tape on it so it doesn't come off if you get wiggling around, because you really can't see. It shouldn't, but once this is all in there after the satellite radio, I don't really want to ever have to take this out again. gonna just fold this extra cable up. And I don't know. I'll leave a little bit, but I mean, that's. Let me put this thing on a bus. And then I'll just take it and put a wrap of electrical tape around it. You don't have to do this. This is just for my sanity. Just keeps a little, I mean, well, I have all that cable. I wish there was a better way to finagle all this, but I mean, they've just got, there's so much stuff. So we're gonna kind of feed all this back in. I do need to attach the what I need to do is not have all this junk, first of all. Junk everywhere. Like they probably have that stuff on hand, which would be very useful. So now I got that back. Let's just protect the screen. It's the one thing I don't want damaged. And looking at it, oh, let's get the stuff that came with this dash kit. I'm trying to keep all my trash in one area. Alright, so this is apparently going to, that's sweet, I don't even need the cages. That's awesome. This is going to basically mount beautifully. There's so much stuff I got out. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is get these out. I would have thought I'd have to clean my car after this mess. Wasn't expecting to have to do so much cleaning, but I got wire pieces everywhere, so it is what it is. Set these right here. And the one thing I'm uncertain of, this is the first time I've actually should be set on good there. Hopefully. Oh, shoot. Now the fun part. Trying to get all that crap back in there. I wish I could say that this was going to be neater, but it in fact will not be. And I hate that I have to pull this out again. Actually, there's plenty of space back there with that short body. I'm actually pretty surprised. So now we have our unit that's going to be mounted there, and all those cables out really was pretty easy. I thought it would be harder, but there's quite a bit of space back here. Flip this around here, and we're going to go ahead and I'm not reason I'm doing this at the moment is I want to see, you know, I want to have to make sure it's flush. I might have to adjust those screws on the side, which I'm sure I will, to be honest. So what I'm trying to do is determine how much I need to adjust that. And there's just so much crap in this car right now. So this is the trim that come with it, with that kit. And I've got to actually take the clips off of that one and put it on this one, because why would they want to give you clips? It would be too easy. So what I'm doing is just kind of getting a fit. To see how we're going to fit in there. And this is not there's two pieces that go up in there. That should be about right on. I just question some of these. If this actually will clip onto that. Nope, don't even need that. Oh, that's wonderful. Now what I need to do is basically feed this through here so it sits flush. Okay, well, as you can see, we got everything back together. We've got the new Kenwood in, minus the time is not correct, which we have it working. This trim piece, I had to Dremel that thing out, and it did not fit this radio, even though it said it was designed for it. So I actually heated the little beauty ring and molded it to the actual plastic. That way you couldn't see the scratches from me fitting the radio in the piece that's supposed to be designed for it. So yeah, other than that, I mean, not too bad. Everything is done. I'm gonna vacuum out the car and finish setting the radio up, and we'll call it a day. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please place them below. I'll be sure to address them as time permits. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.